Thanks for listening to Guidance in Recovery. I'm Keegan Reed, and every week I speak with guests to honestly explore recovery, sobriety, the struggles that come with it, and find things that help us in our recovery journeys. Today on Guidance in Recovery, we welcome back Gretchen Schoser, or G-Rex. She's a suicide attempt survivor, 988 advocate, and a late life entrepreneur. We're tearing down the myths of recovery and discussing why it is never too late to reinvent your soul. Stick around for an insightful episode on how to help your extroverted friends. And that's really hard to be able to say something sometimes. And I mean, so one of the things that you mentioned earlier was like checking up on someone or your extroverted friends and stuff. So we want to make sure to be compassionate and kind to them whenever we check up on them. But I mean, there's also that fear of like, what if I say the wrong thing? What if I piss them off? Because usually they don't like people asking the deeper questions. So how would you suggest someone actually get the chutzpah to ask that friend, like, hey, are you actually doing okay? What is the question that you would think would have broke the ice for you and might help someone else?
A question that would have helped me is, and it was I stated it earlier, is I've seen you have a lot on your plate right now, and you're taking on other people's stuff. But how are you actually doing? But there's a key. There's something super key to this. You need to build trust with them. So, consistently checking in on them, especially if it's somebody you work with, because you see them, at least 40 hours a week. Check in on them. Say, hey, like, why'd you take that project on? I mean, like, you have all this other stuff going on. Is there something else going on that you're trying to maybe not deal with, or are you trying to like numb your mind?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I did. I just took on more and more stuff until I was like, fuck, I don't care if any of this gets done. Y'all, I can go do this yourself because I'm fucking done. But, there's, when we are unpacking on you, don't play armchair therapist.
Yeah.
Just listen. I mean, that really is like a great way. And if you're like remote workers and you can't go and sit at their desk and bullshit for 20 minutes, send them a text, call them, send them a funny meme, okay? Because I'm telling you, laughter, my two healers are laughter and sharing my story.
Yeah.
So if you can laugh for even 20 minutes a day, it can actually turn those circumstances around. Because what happens when you laugh is that it gets rid of that cortisol, right? And when you're all depressed and shit, that cortisol sits in your stomach and it's like, hey, fuck you, I hope you have a shitty day. But if you start your day with like something funny, like I have been watching these messed up raccoon videos. Okay, I will sit and laugh at them for 20 minutes, and then I feel bad for about 5 minutes because now they've just destroyed somebody's property. But it's funny as shit, right? So, like, remember to laugh. Like, even when you're angry and mad and sad and all those things, remember to laugh.
Yeah.
And also make sure you're finding some kind of joy in your day, because joy is intentional.
Yeah.
But joy helps you deal with all the other crap that's going on around us.
Yeah.
And I the other thing is, like, don't watch the fucking news. Just don't.
No.
Like, don't, for your own mental health, just don't watch the news. I mean, like, I train my ChatGPT to give me the top 10 headlines of the day, but make them funny. Even if they're not funny, just make them funny. I mean, it actually works, right? And, just understand that even though extroverts seem to be the life of the party and seem to have all their shit together, we don't.
Yeah.
Okay, but we like fake it till we make it. Like, we put on that big old happy smile, like, yeah, I'm great, I'm living the dream. Don't give me these scissors because I'm probably going to stab you, but, maybe don't ask me another damn question. But there's nothing wrong with you. Our brains get messed up when they get when they get information overload. And that's what happened. I got information overload, and I didn't at the time, I didn't have an outlet for that overload because I wasn't talking to anybody, and I kept it all inside my stomach. And I was just getting madder and madder and madder every day. But you don't want to be mad every day, right? And it's not good for your physical health. It's not good for your mental health. Start opening up, because part of that journey is us, the extroverts of the world, opening up and saying, I'm not okay.
Yeah.
And as scary and tough as that is, it's probably the best conversation you'll ever have with that person that you think needs to hear that message.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, it is hard to sit there and open up like that, because kind of like yourself, I've never wanted to really be the Debbie Downer or the negative Drew, whatever. And it can be one of those things that it's kind of like, well, why does that have to revolve around me? Like, I don't know. It's so hard to open up sometimes, but I was also in that kind of childhood where it was like opening up and talking about that was a bad thing. But and I also learned very quickly that kids, like growing up in middle school, high school, a lot of them didn't really want to hear all that. So I pushed a lot of them away, because I would sit there and be like, hey, yeah, this is what's going on. They were like, okay, we're not a therapist, kind of back away thing. But
part of that goes back to like what we should be teaching in school, right? Is how to identify these, kids that are going through something really horrible, and they're either, fighting back, or they are shell-shocked and you're like, sitting in the corner and rocking back and forth, or they have anger issues. But, we need to start, you need to start at home.
Yeah.
You need to start with your kids and let them know it's okay to talk about this.
Yeah.
You need to let adults know that, like my age, it's okay to talk about it. There is absolutely no shame, and you are not weak because you need help. Okay, listen, we are not perfect humans.
No.
Nobody's perfect, and if you think you are wrong.
Yeah.
We manage our emotions differently, but we're all kind of the same. I don't care if you're extrovert, introvert, purple, green, yellow. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you live.
Yeah.
We all deal with this, but it's in how you deal with it and how your circumstances are that could help you get to that next minute, that next day, that next hour. That was that call to 988, and I'm thankful I made that call. I'm so grateful to be alive, like every single day.
Yeah. I'm super glad and grateful that you are as well, because I mean, we get to have this kind of conversation. You're helping people by the hundreds and thousands actually hear conversations that will make them go like, huh, why didn't I think of that? Or maybe that's a really good idea and I should try that too. And so, I mean, here's a question for you. In your whole like healing journey, your recovery journey of sorts, now, whenever thinking back to before you started, whenever you were in a sour mood and someone tried to get you to laugh or like whatever, or you could feel your attitude changing, like you wanted to like be a little bit happy, did you hold on to that anger? Like, no, I need to hold on to this. Like, I need to still be angry for whatever reason, even though someone's showing you a raccoon video and you're like, God, that's so fucking funny, but I'm not going to laugh. And do you?
Yeah, that was me, 5 years ago.
Oh, okay.
I'd be like, you know what? Nobody's going to see me be mad. Nobody. I fucking want to stab you with a pair of scissors right now. But I would like laugh through that pain. But as it got harder and harder and harder, I just started shutting down. I crawled into myself.
Okay.
And away from the spotlight. And, as extroverts, people are energy to us. Like the more people are around, the more energy we have. Like I'm like a baby raccoon. I have a lot of energy when I'm around a lot of people, right? But it's okay to be angry too. I was angry for so long because I was angry at myself. because I wasn't able to figure out what was wrong with me. I was angry at the world for letting all this shit happen all at the same time. And I was angry at like the dumbest things, right? Like somebody would cut me off, and I live in the fucking country, really. Like I don't get cut off a lot, but if I get cut off, I got like really pissed. Like I wanted to take my shoe off and throw it out the door. But you know, now what I do is if I'm really angry, I don't shut down. I let people know what's going on. I let people know that, hey, this isn't right. Like, but I also found out that my anger doesn't last for that long anymore. Like before, I would like stew and stew and stew on it. Now it lasts about 20 minutes, and I'm like, fuck, I'm on to the next thing. Because stewing in your own shit adds to that depression. It adds to that fear. It adds to all that negative self-talk that we do to ourselves. Like, stop doing that shit, okay? The world's treating us like shit as it is. Quit treating yourself like shit. I'm serious. Like, instead of telling yourself, oh, you ugly piece of crap, be like, oh my God, I'm the most beautiful thing in the world, right? Turn that negative into something positive, because what it does is if you start doing that for 30 days, it becomes a habit. So, you know, I used to tell myself all the time, I'm like, God, I'm so fucking fat. I'm like, I'm short, I'm fat, I'm ugly. Okay, maybe I am all those things, but you know what? I'm a human, I'm not perfect. I'm living my life to the best of my ability. And, you know, I just hope to God I wake up tomorrow morning. That's what I hope for.
And I think that kind of self-talk is the greatest kind of self-talk, you know. And what was it? I spoke to Dr. Bruce Chalmer. If y'all haven't spoken to him on shit that goes on in our heads, y'all should get him on, because he is a great couples therapist and stuff. And he actually talked about that same kind of thing, you know, like the stories that we tell ourselves are kind of what push us a lot of the time. And so he mentioned someone that she had a stroke and she lost part of her, I think it was the left hemisphere. And so she couldn't sit there and tell herself the story that pissed her off. So she wasn't able to get mad or at least stew in that anger. And so whenever she regained control of her brain, like she could do it, but she was like, oh, that's something I was able to turn on and off this whole time. So why was I sitting there making myself more pissed off? And it's like, yeah, we can sit there and let life happen. We can let shit occur. But we don't have to sit there and be like, oh, I'm going to get back at them, watch them, because blah, blah, blah. And I know I'm bad at that too, you know.
I'm horrible at that. But something that my therapist taught me is like when you get into a frame of mind like that, and if you're like maybe out and about, because I'm out and about all the time, is record a voice text. Just record a voice message about what you're pissed off about. Because once you start talking about it, now it's not in your head anymore, right? Now it's someplace else. And if you want to go back and listen to that later on, you can. I delete 90% of what I've like talked to myself. But it's a great way to get it off your chest, especially if you don't have somebody else to talk to right away, right? You could be driving in your car. You could be down in the city doing something. You could be in your office. But like, just pick up your phone and leave yourself a message. I mean, it helps because now now that I talked about it, then I can go back and try and figure out a solution for it.
Ooh, I love that. And so you're not sitting there stewing in the problem. You're trying to figure out how to fix it. And
now you're got to fix it, right? Now you spilled your guts, but how the fuck do you fix it, right? So now you get that feeling out of your head. And now you get to like be like, okay, so this shit didn't work out, but maybe if I did this, this, and this, and this, and that's where a piece of paper comes in handy, right? Like the pros, the cons, and the in-betweens. Like, I don't know if this is a pro or a con, but like I could try this. You could start doing things like that. But you know, it makes you open up about it because now it's not sitting in your core and you're not like doing that negative self-talk anymore. You're like, Okay, now I'm in problem solving mode.
Yeah.
Because when you're in problem solving mode, your brain's in a different place.
Yeah. Ooh, I love that. And I mean, I also would have the kind of feeling of, you know, whenever you first did the first couple of episodes of the podcast and you listen back to them and you're like, a little cringe. I kind of would imagine the same thing.
So fucking cringy. So cringy. But we still go back and listen to them, right?
Yeah. But you have that fresh perspective on listening to it and you're like, oh yeah, that's like, so the same kind of thing with the anger note is like, oh, why was I mad at that in the first place? That like, I was just really hungry that day, I guess.
Yeah. It kind of helps you triage that problem, right? Because if you're still sitting with it in your head, and let's say you're getting ready to go to bed, nobody wants to go to bed mad, okay? Because you don't get a good night's sleep. So use your phone to the best of your ability. Write it down. Do something to get that thought out of your head. Because once you do that, then you get to move to triage. Like, okay, well, how am I going to fix this now, right? And why am I so mad about this? Because it doesn't even involve me. And if you're an empath, I am telling you, learn how to put your shields up faster. The faster you learn how to put up that shield, the better you're going to be. And I mean, that's what I did. I have like this imaginary black box. It's like this big. Listen, if it has to pass like 3 tests before you can even get into that box. Like the first thing is, how's it going to affect you, right? Is it going to put you in a bad mood? Is there going to be some more shit you need to put on your plate? Number 2, is this like something I need to take on? Or do I just need to be a friend? Third, like, how is this going to help is this going to hurt or help my mental health? If it's going to hurt my mental health, that shit is never going to permeate that black box ever. But, you know, I had to learn that because, you know, I'm approaching 63 now and like, I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot about myself, but I'm also very active on social media right now, especially through my company, about pointing out mental wellness within companies because companies forget that we're all mental beings, right? We all suffer burnout. We all suffer stress. We all suffer loss. And the companies need to put things in place for their employees so that they feel psychologically safe going to work. And I mean, it's hard. I just talked to a friend that had to open up to somebody at work, actually their HR team, and let them know that they have ADHD. Because they were getting called out on stuff at work.
That's a bummer.
And I mean, it was a tough conversation, right? And it's not something that we get it's kind of cringy and you're like, I don't fucking think I want to do this. But listen, if you have to go to this job every day and you don't have something to fall back on, you need to get a little bit vulnerable and you need to open your mouth. And, you know, for all that time that I didn't say shit to anybody, now I apparently have diarrhea of the mouth and I can't shut up. But my message is clear, is like, we are not broken. Okay, we are humans. We have brains that don't really sometimes don't work the way we want them to work. But we all have the ability to speak up. And if you still have that ability, talk it out. Just talk it out. Like if you don't have somebody, if you're not in crisis and you really need to talk it out, like just talk on your phone. Pretend like you're talking to a friend. Just talk it out. Be like, okay, this is all bullshit. You know what? It depends on how much memory you have on your phone. You know, go back and erase some of those. But be kind to yourself. Like you know, as we were talking, is be kind to others, be kind to yourself, because that kindness, it reflects back on us and makes us stronger. Right. And I'm proud of what I've done, and I'm proud of the people that, you know, have come and asked me for a suggestion or, you know, what they can do next. I'm not a therapist by trade. I just went through some really bad mental shit. Not highly recommended. Okay, like it's. But like, talk it out and be kind. All right, go ahead. It's okay to laugh, even if you're depressed. It's okay to laugh. If you're depressed, it's okay to find joy. like for me, like joy for me is going outside. We live on 8.5 acres here in upstate New York. All the animals are out now, right? So we've been seeing deer and fox and raccoons and the skunks, and I feel like the lesbian Snow White. But that's the stuff that brings me joy, is actually being able to get outside. You know, I live in upstate New York. We had a horrible, horrible cold and snowy winter. I'm looking forward to spring. I am like counting down the days. But, you know, make it intentional and know that you're not alone.
Yeah.
You know, the more vulnerable you are, the more you're going to see that people are going to want to help you.
Yeah.
But the more shut down you are, people aren't even going to realize that you're hurting.
Yeah.
So help yourself by opening up.
Yeah. Thank you for that message, because it's something that I think everyone needs to hear and maybe even get reminders of sometimes. And I know that for myself, I always thought that being vulnerable was just meant that everything could hurt me. But I've come to find out that vulnerability is actually being willing to heal from everything that's hurt me. And it's weird, you know, but it's kind of like flipping that perspective on a simple word. And I mean, we can do that with the things that go on in our life. Kind of like how what you did with the ChatGPT and the 10 headline articles.
It's the best thing ever. I'm telling you. I'll give you the prompt. It was super easy. It makes me laugh because, you know what? I know I need to know what's going on in the world, but like I don't really need to know what's going on in the world, because all it does is make me sad. But like those 10 little headlines, and if I decided something else I need to read more into, I'll go read more into it. But those 10 little funny headlines, that's classic. And if you like, you know, this is how I start every single day. I started with 20 minutes of watching really funny, messed up videos of animals doing some messed up shit. I feel bad for about 5 minutes after that. But then the very next thing I do, and I've been doing this since January 20th, 2025, is I state what I'm grateful for. And it could be the same thing 3 days in a row, but I'm grateful. Yeah. I'm grateful to be alive. I'm grateful that, you know, that small glimmer of hope that was sitting in the back of my head when I was getting ready to call 988 came true, because like the beauty of everything is life did get better. Yeah. It got far better than I ever anticipated that it would be. And I just keep moving forward. And yes, I still have bad days, but I don't dwell on them as much as I used to. Like it doesn't sit in my stomach anymore, because now people know that I'm going to be super vulnerable and tell people that I am not in a good headspace.
Yeah.
Okay. And if I told you to fuck off, it was probably because that's exactly how I felt at that moment.
Yeah. And I mean, it takes a lot of bravery to be able to even do that kind of like opening up, like, hey, you pissed me off and I don't want to talk to you right now, you know, because a lot of us are the people pleaser kind of types, or at least myself, you know. And
raising my hand.
And
I'm guilty of that.
Yeah, and it's super hard to be able to like self-advocate sometimes. It's hard to stick up for oneself. But real quick, where can people find you and your wellness solutions if they're looking for your kind of help?
So if you're a company, a small business, a small to medium-sized business, I do help large companies if they need it. You can reach out to me at Schosersolutions.com. Okay. If you want to learn more about the Crazy Podcast, where all the crazy people hang out with me, go to goesinOurhead.net.
Gotcha. Sweet. So we got those two links up there. And I mean, I just got to say, like, it's super amazing to have these kind of conversations, because I wish that I had these kind of conversations growing up. I wish I had them just being able to even listen to, you know, because it was one of those things that growing up in my household, I wasn't really allowed to feel a lot of different emotions. It was happy, angry, hungry, and horny. So I could be, and that didn't leave a lot of room for the like actual deeper stuff that was actually really bothering me. And I'm still figuring some of those things out, but the thing is that I'm taking it one day at a time. And I've learned that each breath I take actually does make me into who I want to be. And unfortunately, for many, many years, I wanted to be dead. I wanted to not exist. I wanted to be someone else. I wanted to be somewhere else. I wanted to be anywhere but where I'm at. And it was just, I had to go through my own kind of shit to figure out that, hey, no, life is going to get better, but I had to change up the narrative a little bit. I had to get vulnerable. I had to let people know where I was at. I had to do this. I had to do that. And it's hard, but I mean, after that hard part is over, it gets so much better.
Oh yeah, man. Like as soon as when I hit rock bottom, that my rock bottom was that call to 988.
Yeah.
Once I hit that, I knew I had to change.
Yeah.
And I did it for me. I didn't do it for anybody else.
Yeah.
If you're going to change, you want to do it for you and not for anybody else in this world.
Nope.
Do it for you.
Yep.
Like, take pride in what you've done for yourself. And, just remember that you are loved, wanted, and needed in this world. And this world's a better place with you in it. Don't think about checking out, right? But always remember that, just putting one foot in front of another and working through the steps or working through your program will get you to a place where you will look back on that and say, hey, look how much I've grown. And that's what I do for myself every day.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for this journey. I am. It hasn't been easy. It's been hard. But I'm proud of myself.
Yeah.
And like 3 years ago, I couldn't even say that to myself. Now I can say it. I'm fucking proud of myself.
Oh, man. And I mean, it's being proud of oneself is kind of one of those things that a lot of people tell us we shouldn't do. Like, you shouldn't be bragging about the things that you've done and what you've overcome and stuff. And I've come to find out that there's a very actual need to do that for at least oneself, not to sit there and like rub it in other people's faces like, oh, look at what I did. Look at what I accomplished. But it is something that someone does need to find their self-worth and self-value and to cultivate that self-belief that they are worth something, even if it is just for themselves. Because like you said, if we don't do our recovery for ourselves, if we don't try to get better for ourselves, it's not going to work,
That's right. It's not. Like, do it for you. Like, if you love yourself enough, do it for you. Do the shit that makes you happy, not everybody else. And, like, set your boundaries now. Be nice to yourself. Stop the negative self-talk. If you're somebody that is seeing somebody else struggling, be nice to them, earn their trust, and see how you can help them.
Yeah.
But stop asking open-ended questions. Ask a question that we actually have to fucking answer.
So no more just, hey, how you doing?
Yeah, don't do that. Do something like, hey, what's really going on in your life? Because then you have to open up, right?
Yeah.
Now that switch kind of flips off in our head. We're like, oh, fuck, I really need to answer this. Like, what lie can I tell them today? We have the lie filter. Like, yeah, I'm fine. Everything is great. Like, get the fuck away from me. I'm going to stab you with scissors again. But, also knowing that you can set a boundary and you can step away from shit that does no longer serve you.
Yeah.
And if that to me was one of the hardest lessons I learned, was stepping away from things that no longer serve me, because I would just do, and now I don't, because like if it doesn't serve me and it's just gonna piss me off, then I'm done.
Yeah. And I mean, that's one of those hard things to kind of get to the point of doing, right? Because it may mean losing friends, and it may mean losing what you thought you had built up. But really, if it's built on lies, then what good is it anyways, right?
Yeah. Like, just, be good to yourself. And just realize that, people are rooting for you. And for the people that aren't rooting for you, fuck them. You know what? It's your life. Yeah. It really is. And, like, if you're willing to take that chance on yourself, do it. I look back what it was like for me 3 years ago, and it sucked balls. But now I look at my life and I'm like, look how much I've grown.
Yeah.
So like, even if you're newly, or if you're new to being sobriety, or new to mental health recovery, just know that it doesn't change overnight.
No.
But with time and patience, because you know what, you have to offer how we offer everybody else patience and grace, but we do that very little for ourselves.
Yeah.
Offer yourself patience and grace, because now you're going through some really hard shit. But just know it does get better. But you have to put the work in. Like, there's no easy button, and I'm glad there's not an easy button, because I had to go through all the ghosts in my closet. There's still some that are sitting in there that may never, ever, ever come out. But I'm okay with me now.
Yeah.
And who I am and how I show up for myself and my friends and my family every day now.
Yeah. And that's the important part, So, I mean, digging into oneself to become proud of where you're at and everything is super important. And I mean, you do raise a good point. It does not get better overnight. Like, it will, whenever you look back at everything, it'll feel like a flash, but it'll also be like, wow, I really went through all of that for that long. But once you start getting better and noticeably better for yourself, like, I know for me, whenever I could tell that, like, hey, recovery's starting to work, like, my brain started feeling different and my attitude started changing a lot. And it was like, oh, okay, so I don't actually hate life like I thought I did. Well, I did, and I had valid reasons for it at first, but life is not what I thought it was. It's not all doom and gloom, but it's actually a lot of, like, for lack of a cliche, I guess, sunshine and sparkles, it is actually fun.
It is. And, giving ourselves permission to mess up and giving ourselves permission to be angry, but don't sit with it, right?
Yeah.
Giving yourself praise as you go through your journey. And just know that, people love you, whether you're an asshole or not. Okay, people are still going to love us, but we have to be nicer and be vulnerable and just be good humans.
Yeah.
It doesn't take a lot to be a good human. And just try and find, like I said, just find something to laugh at every single day. It does help.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah.
And you know what? Every single one of us has shit that goes on in our heads. Every single one. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're the Pope. All right. I'm sure he's got shit that goes on in his head every single day. But like, it doesn't take much. And, just keep checking in on people. Check on your friends. Check in on yourself. If you haven't done that in a couple of days, check in and say, hey, how am I doing?
Yeah. Oof.
And it's really important.
Yeah, that's a really good reminder too. And I also do love how you brought up that, like, even the Pope may have bad thoughts, because I know one of the struggles I always had growing up was, like, if I have a bad thought, that means I'm a bad person. But I've come to find out that no, it's having the bad thought and acting on that bad thought that makes me a bad person.
Yes.
I'm free to have as many bad thoughts as I want, but I really should minimize them. But I minimize them by doing opposite actions. If I have a bad thought, then I just do the opposite of whatever that bad thought was. So.
And it works, right? Like, do the things that make your heart smile. Okay? Because when you do things that make your heart smile, it makes all the other crap a little bit more tolerable. And yes, I talk about stabbing people with scissors all the time. I've never stabbed a person ever with scissors. I'd be afraid. Like, I don't run with them either, because you might, like, accidentally fall on them. But, just realize that, like, life is hard, but we can get through it. And the more open we are about what's going on with ourselves, the better it gets.
Yeah. Yep. Real quick, I did want to add something to your gratitude list kind of thing. I've started trying to take 3 pictures a day of things that I'm grateful for. So, yeah.
So you know what you can do with those?
What's that?
is on your phone. So this is my co-host, Dirty Skittles, came up with this. She has a joy folder on her phone. So it's pictures that bring her joy.
Oh.
And so I started doing that also. And so I have a folder on my phone. It's pictures that bring me joy. So whenever I'm having a bad day, I go back and look at those joyful pictures. It changes the trajectory of what's going on in my mind.
Ooh, okay. I'm going to have to set one of those up after we get done with this call.
Yeah. And like if you're having a bad day, you can just go back through and be like, oh, I remember this day, right? And so it kind of like changes, it moves your mindset to something that that makes you happy versus anger. And no, like I said, I'm not going to stab anybody with scissors. So that's the old me. New me is like, yeah, whatever.
You'll maybe take one of those LARPing swords to them, you know, those foam swords.
I'm just gonna be like, whatever. You know what? This shit bothered me 20 minutes ago. I don't want to fucking talk about it anymore.
Fair enough.
But I just want everybody to be good to yourself.
Yeah.
Realize that, you're not broken.
Nope.
And that you're going to be okay. But you have to put the time and the work in to make it happen.
Yeah. With that being said, do you have any advice for someone that feels like they're too tired to do that before we end this episode?
You're never too tired to take care of yourself, ever. So a simple, nighttime routine, maybe 5 minutes of meditation. I can't fucking do it. I have ADHD. It's 30 seconds and I'm like, oh, look, a fucking squirrel. But, it's fucking true. I don't care if anybody out there can tell me that I can meditate, good luck with that. Do something good for yourself before you go to sleep. Okay. Or if you're too tired, maybe recite something in the back of I'm a good person. I'm a good person. I did my best. I did the best I could today. Right? That changes how you feel. Yeah. I'm tired, but I'm proud of myself. Listen, I got out of bed today. I brushed my teeth. I had some breakfast. I worked a little bit. I did some good things today.
Yeah.
And while life may be kicking me in the balls every single second, I still did good things today.
Yeah. Oof. Okay. Oh, I love that. I think that is something that everyone can do, and I know I'm going to have to do a little bit more of that myself too.
Yeah, I mean, it's something I started, 3 years ago, and when I get into that place where I'm like, fuck, I just hate everybody. But listen, I did 3 good things for myself today. You know what? And it's okay to be humble and to, shout out your accolades. Just be humble when you do it.
Yeah.
And be thankful that you had that opportunity to do that. And be grateful that you had that ability to do it.
Yeah. Oof. Okay. Well, I think that's some great, powerful wisdom that we all should embody a little bit more, and it'll change our lives. And once we change our lives a little bit, it'll help affect those around us, because I think happiness and joy are pretty contagious, so.
They are. And if anybody else wants to talk to me, just reach out to me on my social media. It has both email addresses. I offer a free 30-minute consult for my business. And for the podcast, we are so booked with guests, it's nuts. Yeah. But, very thankful that I get to do this and to get to speak to you, Keegan. Yeah. I always love our conversations. So
the same here. And I did forget to introduce you as G-Rex. So
G-Rex, Gretchen. You listen, the 2 names are synonymous. Depends. If I'm writing a business email, it's Gretchen. If it's I need to be super snarky, just call me G-Rex.
Fair enough. Well, G-Rex, it has been an honor and a pleasure having you back on the show, and I can't wait to speak to you again and just see what other awesome things that you do, because you deserve everything that you've had come your way. And I mean, just thank you for helping other people see a light at the end of the tunnel. So
thank you so much for having me. Like I said, it's always a pleasure to talk to you.
Of course. And I mean, I'm looking forward to the future. So
all right, buddy.
All right.
Stay out of trouble, kids. Stay out of trouble.
Or at least don't get caught, you know.
or go make good trouble. You can make good trouble too.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Good trouble. I'll have to ponder how that one works. But with that being said, everyone out there, thank you for listening to Guidance and Recovery and on WDJY 99.1 FM. And as always, try to love yourself, love others if you can, but you got to try to love yourself first. Be your favorite version of yourself today if you can, and we'll see y'all in the future. But if you're having a mental health crisis, dial 988 for a person on the phone, or you can text 741-741 if you don't feel like talking, and we'll see y'all in the next episode. That being said, much love. Sean.